Hi, I'm Michael Fox and you're welcome to my country music series, Fox Country. My guest on the programme today is Kieran Rosny from County Monaghan, and in a few moments I'll be talking to Kieran, but before that let's have a look at his video, Willie's Shoes.
I wore nothing but hand-me-downs when I was a young growing schoolboy. My mama would patch Brother Willie's old clothes, say, son, they'll just have to do. I never complained, 'cause I knew my daddy's pounds and pennies were few. One thing that bothered me just a wee bit, I never could fill Willie's shoes. I never could fill Willie's shoes, no, I never could fill Willie's shoes. No matter how many stockings I put on my feet, I still couldn't fill Willie's shoes. Now Joey O'Brien was a school pal of mine. He never would leave me alone. One day in classroom I got my chance to pay him back all that I'd owed. He was a-bending down tying his shoe when I swung my leg and let it fly. He stepped aside and my shoe, it flew off and hit the teacher right smack in the eye. I never could fill Willie's shoes, no, I never could fill Willie's shoes. No matter how many stockings I put on my feet, I still couldn't fill Willie's shoes. Now my brother Willie was dark and handsome, was a big head with the girls, and one little cutie, blonde-haired Susie, put my heart in a twirl. I thought I'd surprise her when I walked up beside her and kissed her before she'd say boo. But I soon found out with a smack on the cheek that I couldn't fill Willie's shoes. I never could fill Willie's shoes, no, I never could fill Willie's shoes. No matter how many stockings I put on my feet, I still couldn't fill Willie's shoes. Now the years have passed and I'm glad at last struggling hard times are gone. I got me a woman, a brand new car, a pair of shoes of my own. It was only last week my small brother Willie came visit me here at my digs. I tried on his shoes and what do you know, they were still 2 sizes too big. I never could fill Willie's shoes, no, I never could fill Willie's shoes. No matter how many stockings I put on my feet, I still couldn't fill Willie's shoes. I never could fill Willie's shoes.
Kieran, you're very welcome to Fox Country. It's good to have you with us today.
Thanks a million, Mike. Nice to be here.
Now, you're from Pulla in Offaly, but you live in Latin near Castleblaney in County Monaghan.
Yes, I live over there. My good wife brought me over that direction,
right.
so
Yeah.
that's where we live and raise our family there. Yeah.
Well, you're very busy on the Irish country music scene, but you didn't start with country music. You're a classically trained musician.
Well, it's funny. I've always played country music. I mean, I grew up in the country, and I always played country music from a very early age. And I have 2 other brothers, John and Steve, and they kind of brought me along with them. So it started at that age, I suppose. Like, I mean, we went to guitar lessons together with my brothers. I was about 6 or that, and our teacher was brilliant. He used to sing as well, so we'd learn a new song each week and learn the chords, and so that's how it all started for me, really, you know.
Yeah.
And I just gained a love for singing and playing,
Yeah.
you know. So
And in those early days, who would you have listened to? Who would you say were your musical influences?
well, I suppose I listened to the songs of my mum and dad would have on the Big Tom and Margot, and
Yeah.
you know, but we listened to a lot of the American stuff as well,
Mm.
you know, like Merle Haggard and George Jones and those as well. So that's how we started off, and then I just went on and continued my education to 3rd level
Yeah.
and studied music there as well. And I suppose life brought me in a slightly different journey, but country music I always played, and
That was the first love, although you were following maybe a classical route as
yeah.
well.
Well, you know, when I went to college, there was only really one option of it was study classical music. You know, there was a slight tiny module on Irish traditional music, but unfortunately there was no modules on country music. But it is changing now. Actually, there's a number of popular music degrees out there now, and that. But
Well, you went on to gain a music degree, didn't you?
yeah, we have a few degrees under our belt. It's nice to have them, and I taught music at different places, different colleges around Ireland and stuff, and classical guitar I specialised in,
Right.
and I taught in St. Pat's and a few different places around Ireland. Yeah.
Did you introduce your students to country music maybe a little
Well,
bit?
it's funny. One of the modules I had when I was lecturing was popular music. So, of course, the oldest form is country music, and it's always been there. It'll always be there, I think. Before the blues and before everything else, I think country music was there. It's the most normal thing to do. So. But,
So you had this growing love for country music, and you were playing music. And when did you start gigging?
well, you know, my older brothers had a band, and I just used to go along to see them at the weekends. With my mum and dad would bring me along at a very young age,
Yes.
and then they would call me up to sing a song. So I became a regular thing then, that I would sing a few songs with them, and so that just developed into, if my brothers were playing at a party or something, they would bring me along then, and that just, and then I was part of the band and then so I initially played the guitar and sang, and then when my brother Steve left, I played the keyboards and sang for a number of years, and then myself and my brother Steve played as a 2-piece
Right.
band, and we were very popular.
Yeah.
You know, there was nearly every pub had music. You know, at that stage, it was great. And then when I moved to Castleblaney, I went out on my own. I had a full-time job of lecturing, and it just wasn't for me. You know,
Yeah.
I love playing and singing, so that's what I love
So
doing.
what year was that then, Kieran?
Yeah, well, I went full-time.
Solo.
Yeah, full-time country singer just over 4 years ago now, and we brought out our debut album then about a year and a half after that, when we got it all together, and now we're bringing out my second album.
Yes.
So that's, the journey has been great so far.
Yes.
Anyway, so we've been working very hard and recording and.
Tell us about the type of gigs you're doing now as solo. Is it for dancing? Is it for sit-down pub audiences? I know you've been doing some concerts as well, haven't you?
Yeah, well, I introduced doing a few concerts last year. I enjoy the concerts because it's an opportunity for me just to play with my acoustic guitar and sing.
Of course, yeah.
And play some of the tracks on my album that maybe I wouldn't get to play
Another type
yeah,
of
another type
function,
of So I do a lot of dance shows, you know, a lot of dance gigs around Ireland, and social dancing, and what's nice about it is it goes into the local communities, and where country music is really strong, you know.
That's right, yeah. There was one single that you released that I'm probably right in saying really brought Kieran to the attention of the music-loving public. Willie Shoes.
Yeah,
That was a tremendous success for you,
it
wasn't
was great. It was such a boost to me to get a good song early in my career like that, you know.
Yeah.
And to be a song that was written by Kevin Sheeran, who taught me guitar when I was a
Very
kid.
talented musician.
And such a nice man too. So it was great to have that. That was a great boost. It meant that I got some airplay and on the radios, and so that formed part of my first debut album, and that. So
and of course, there's a fine video to go with that, because we had a look at that right at the start of today's program.
Yeah, it's lovely. Yeah, that was videoed down in my home village of Pulla, down in Offaly. Yeah. So we recorded it in my local pub there, where we used to play music and that. So Gallagher's pub in Pulla, right on the banks of the Grand Canal there. Yeah, it's lovely there. So it's a nice waltz to dance to as well. So I don't mind. I enjoy it. I like it. There's a lovely story to it, and it's funny as well.
Every song tells a story.
Yeah, so it's great. I play it at least once every night, you know. So
yeah,
it's good. My brother Steve has done support and as special guest as part of the concerts that I've done. Of course, he has written a number of my songs that I've recorded, and the old Turf Sod, he wrote that song as well.
Song.
Yeah, it's not going to be on the new album. It's another nice waltz as well, and so he's written 2 other songs which are going to be on my album as well. On the new album, and I actually have 2 of my own songs on the album as well. So it's going to be 5 originals on the new album.
Well, I was going to ask you about your own songwriting. Is this something you've taken up recently, or have you been writing for a few years?
Yeah. Well, I suppose in the last year I've been writing seriously. Yeah. I sat down one day. I said to Jean, right, and we're going to write a song. Jean's my wife, and I sat down at the kitchen table. Didn't really know how it was going to go, but actually very quickly I had a song down, and it's actually the title track of my new album. Yeah, it's called Me and My Old Guitar.
Very good.
And it tells the story of my journey so far over the 4 years, and so it just kind of expanded from there, you know.
Is that your songwriting technique then, just to say, right, I'm going to sit down and before I get up again I'll have a song written?
Well, that's it. It's actually...
How do you construct the song?
Well, it's very funny. That first song is not a typical way I write songs now.
Yeah.
But it turned out well, and normally I've written a number of songs since now, and they have kind of come to me over a period of time, or there might be something that's been in my head.
Well, we mentioned a few moments ago your song, The Old Turf Sod.
Yes.
And you have a video of that, and I think we should have a look at it now.
Great. Okay. Thanks, man.
For some it's religion, for us it's tradition, handed down from my father and his father before. It only comes around 1 time a year. We'll sharpen the sling, crack open the beer. Up bright and early at the breaking of dawn, we tack up old Neddy, pull him out of the barn. Load up the cart and the bottles of tea, and off to the bog, my daddy and me. smell of the heather and the croak of the frog. There's no better place than life on the bog. Some people burn that timber dry log, but you can't beat the heat of the old turf sod. My dad does the cutting and I do the catching. Eddie carts out the bogey all on his own. But he surely knew when his workday was done, up with his head and the way home he would run. Later that night we'd all gather round, lay our cards out and put our pennies right down. Who played the jack and kept that ace alive? Oh, thank God for the old 25. With the smell of the heather and the croak of the frog, there's no better place than life on the bog. Some people burn that timber dry log, but you can't beat the heat of the old turf sod. With the fun stucking and stacking it high, it won't be long now before the wind blows it dry. Cart it all home, clamp it high in a reek, while the children run round playing hide and go seek. How I long for those old times again, the cutting of the turf and playing cards with my friends. Oh, how those times have moved quickly along, and all we've left is cherished memories of the days long gone. With the smell of the heather and the croak of the frog, there's no better place than life on the bog. Some people burn that timber dry log, but you can't beat the heat of the old turf sod. With the smell of the heather and the croak of the frog, there's no better place than life on the bog. Some people burn that timber dry log, but you can't beat the heat of the old turf sod. I know you can't beat the heat of the old turf sod.
Well, that's a great video, Kieran, the old turf sod.
Thank you. Yeah.
How did that song come about?
Well, it's you know, I was born in the heartland of bog country in Offaly there, and my dad worked on the bog all his life, and we grew up cutting turf and bringing it home for the winter. Yeah, yeah. So we knew all about it, and my brother wrote it, and so he directed the video as well. And we were just really lucky that everything came together well on the day, and well, all the neighbours and all our family is actually on the video. So my nieces and nephews, and my dad is there as well, and you know, I was really proud of that video. I think it was a really special video.
Yes.
You know, big thank you to my brother who organised the whole thing, really. So I'm very proud of that. And actually, speaking of videos, I'm hoping to have my first DVD collection this year as well. So we've gathered up a good few videos over the last 4 years, and so we're going to bring them all together this year now and bring them out. So.
And you're looking forward to the release of your second album that you mentioned a few moments ago.
I'm hoping that it's just any minute now. I'm waiting for it's just been the final stages now at the minute. So it's great. It'll be 15 tracks actually on this album. And
very good.
Yeah, it's a real country album. So.
Well, Kieran, I'm delighted that you could come on Fox Country today and talk to us about your career so far and your songwriting and singing and gigging. And on behalf of ourselves and our viewers, can we wish you every success with your career?
Yeah.
And we look forward to talking to you again soon.
Thanks a million, Michael. It's a pleasure always meeting up with you, and thanks for all your airplay on the radio, and thanks for everything down through the years. Thanks.
You're very welcome, Kieran.
God bless.
Thanks very much.
Thank you. Okay.
My thanks again to Kieran Rosny for joining me on the programme today, and I hope you enjoyed my chat with him as much as I did. My guest on the programme next week will be Bernie Heaney from County Kildare, and we'll finish today's programme with a video from Kathy Crinion from County Meath, Rock and Roll Banjo.
He was born in the backwoods of East Tennessee, a homegrown soul that ran real deep. Picking and grinning in the old porch swing, he loved to hear that banjo ring. Met a kid one night at a local bar, loved the way he played that rock guitar. They sat in the bed of his pickup truck, plucking them strings till the sun came up. They couldn't get enough. Bless my soul, what a show! Six-string screaming southern soul, bringing all the girls around, turning long necks upside down. Boots all tapping to a down-home tone, and in twang that felt like home. Now everybody wants to go hear rock and roll banjo. The crowd got bigger and the music felt right, hacking that lot every Friday night. Took the show to the Nashville scene, blew up like a match and